Hi everybody, we're ready for chapter 7 of Bowser the Hound. Now, remember Blackie the Crow saw the door open and Bowser come out, I think at the end of the last chapter. So let's see what happens. Chapter 7 is entitled Blackie the Crow Takes Pity on Bowser. Beneath a coat of ebon hue may beat a heart that's kind and true. The worst of scamps in time of need will often do a kindly deed. That's from Bowser the Hound. Caw, caw, exclaimed Blackie the Crow. Bowser looked up to the top of the tall tree where Blackie sat, and in his great soft eyes was such a look of friendliness that it gave Blackie a funny feeling. You know, Blackie is not used to friendly looks. He's used to quite the other kind. Bowser came out of the old sugar house where he had spent the night and whined softly as he looked up at Blackie. And as he whined, he wagged his tail ever so slightly. Just a second, everybody. Let's take one more look at the picture. Blackie's up there, and he waited and waited, and finally Bowser came out through the door.
Marjorie loves crows. Say their names.
What?
Marjorie loves crows.
Oh.
I just want you to say their names. Matthew.
So, let's see, Jackson, Emily, Marjorie, Matthew. Here we go. Let's see what happens next. So Bowser sees Blackie the Crow up there in the treetop, and he recognizes him, I think. Okay. Now, let's see here. Where was I? He whined, and as he whined, he wagged his tail ever so slightly. Blackie didn't know what to make of it. He had never been more surprised in his life. He didn't know what surprised him most, finding Bowser way over here where he had no business to be, or Bowser's friendliness. As for Bowser, he had spent such a forlorn, miserable night. He was so terribly lonesome that the very sound of Blackie's voice had given him a queer thrill. Never had he thought of Blackie the Crow as a friend. In fact, he never thought much about Blackie at all. Sometimes he had chased Blackie out of Farmer Brown's cornfield early in the spring, but that is all he ever had to do with him. Now, however, lonesome and lost as he was, the sound of a familiar voice made him tingle all over with a friendly feeling. So he whined softly and wagged his tail feebly as he looked up at Blackie sitting in the top of a tall tree. Presently, Bowser limped out to the middle of the little clearing and turned first this way and then that way. Then he sat down and howled dismally. In an instant, Blackie the Crow understood. Bowser was lost. So that's the trouble, muttered Blackie to himself. That silly dog's got himself lost. I never will be able to understand how anybody can get lost. I never in my life was lost, and never expect to be. But it is easy enough to see that Bowser is lost, and badly lost. My goodness, how lame he is. Wonder what's happened to him. Serves him right for hunting other people, but I'm sorry for him just the same. What a helpless creature a lost dog is anyway. I suppose if he doesn't find a house pretty soon, he will starve to death. Old Man Coyote wouldn't. Reddy Fox wouldn't. They would catch something to eat no matter where they were. I suppose they wouldn't thank me for doing it. Just the same, I think I'll take pity on Bowser, help him get out of his trouble. Oh, and that's the end of that chapter. We'll read another one tomorrow. It'll be chapter 8 tomorrow. And it's titled How Blackie the Crow Helped Bowser. So that's good, huh? Okay. Bye-bye, everybody. Good night.
No, you can't stop.